Hello and welcome to the part one of the Clik 25 build from RC Factory, sponsored by Model Shop Leeds. That was a long-winded introduction, wasn't it? Right, fundamentals. Every time you build a model, or every time you start a model, or whether it be a ready to fly or whatever it is, there's fundamentals. And the fundamentals are binding your radio to your receiver and checking that all your surveys? What are you talking about? Servos. And checking that all your servos work and that they're in a neutral position. So what do we mean by all that? Well, I'm about to show you. But with the Clik 25, the first thing you must do before all of that is grab all your control surfaces, like your ailerons, your elevator, your rudder, okay, and bend over the appropriate moving surface. Lay them on something flat, put something heavy on top of it, well, not too heavy obviously, and leave it for a minimum of 1 hour. I've left these overnight, so these are all now nice and maneuverable. Okay, so back to the fundamentals. Now, you need to know if your motor's working, you need to know if your servos are working, you need to know if your receiver's working, if you've got the opportunity to do a range test as well. Okay, so in this instance, I'm using Spectrum NX8. I like Spectrum. Henry's not so keen on them, but I like them. I think they're all right. So let's maneuver the camera and see what I'm going on about. 1 second. Right. When you're testing your motor out, make sure that your propeller is not with the motor. Now, the only reason that's on there is because I want to know which way around it's going. Now, with this setup, you will need to solder on the bullet connectors. And for this, I have a spare pair here, 2mm bullet connectors. You need a male and a female. The male goes on the motor. The female goes on the ESC or speed controller. That's important. The male always goes on the motor. Okay. Now, you will then need to charge your battery. Make sure it's fully charged. And then you get to set up. Now, at the moment, I'm using this Spectrum AR410 for my receiver. That may change in the future, but for now, that's what I'm using. I might stick with it. Okay, it depends what Henry says when I get to see him. So then you have your servos. Now these are Master S706MG, hashtag C6702, and I believe they're 4.7 grams, I believe. Okay, now you take out your servo arms and you connect everything up and you bind it to your radio. Okay. And again, I'll reiterate, make sure you haven't got your propeller connected because you could have a nasty accident. Okay, and everything's all set up and you bound it and the battery's now on and your radio is controlling things. So what you want to do is, let's see if I can bring it all to you, is to be moving your surfaces. Okay, and you need to know if they're in a neutral position. What do I mean? Well, if you put the arm on it, Okay, let's do it from scrap. Let's say I haven't powered this up at all, and I sort of guess that might be neutral, and I power it up, and I realise that's not neutral. It's not 90 degrees to the servo. So now that I know that it's all powered up, I replace the arm at 90 degrees, or near I can get to 90 degrees. So when I come to fit the servo, I haven't got to recalibrate everything. The servo arm we're already on with the retaining screw in the top, and I haven't got to muck about taking it out trying to change the direction of the controlling horn. Okay, once you get all that done and you're a bit brave, you need to know, is my propeller turning the right way? Now in this instance we're using a rubber band to hold on the propeller. Now what happens is that your Clik 25 will probably hit a wall or come down sudden, and this really protects the motor and the propeller, so it's not rigid, it's got a bit of give in it, and that elastic band is, well, it's not really an elastic band, it's like a rubber retainer, will give, and it will allow you to recover your model without breaking your prop. Now I'm doing something I really shouldn't do, I'm holding it there, but which way round is that prop spinning? And I can tell that the airflow is coming back towards my hand, which is the correct direction. Okay, there you go. Now we've sorted that out, we can take the prop off. Make sure everybody's nice and safe and nobody gets a cut finger. Now I have had to change the direction. See, I've colour coded it. I've put on heat shrink, and I always colour code the cable, so now I know which way I'm going. Now that I know that the motor is running in the correct direction, because if it goes the wrong direction, just swap over any two leads, doesn't matter which ones they are, just swap over any two leads and pretty much guarantee it'll go the correct direction. Now what I can do is get some more of the I just told you what it's called, didn't I? Heat shrink, and make them all unified colours. So I can make that all red and I can make that one all yellow. And then I know when I come to reconnect it, I'm connecting it the correct way around. Okay? You see that, how I colour coded it? Right, that is your basics. Make sure your kit works before you even start. Okay, now I've made a list. I'm going to put you back so you can see me. I better turn off this, disconnect the battery, turn off the radio. There we go. Because we won't need them again for a little while. And that's turned off. Okay, and there it is. Nice and safe. So we're going back to ugly old me again, big fat boy. So here's the list. I will put this list in the description box below at the start of the video. Okay, so you've got a prop. This one's an 8x4.3 prop. Servos, I've got 3. Master Mini Servo S706MG 4.7 gram. Brushless motor, 2204 kV, so 2204 kV, 1800, and this one's a Stocky Pro C9870. Okay, the battery is a LiPo 30C 350 7.4 volts. Okay, the speed controller is a brushless regular 15 amp Davia, and it's a C9757. The receiver is a Spectrum AR410, pretty box standard. What else I've got? I bought some spare carbon fibre, 0.8 by 1 metre, okay, that's round, and some carbon fibre round 1 millimetre by 1 metre, and a spare flat strip 0.5 millimetre by 3 millimetres, 1 metre long. So I bought them as spares in case I cock something up or I've run out for whatever reason. I've got some spare, and that carbon fibre is actually pretty cheap. It's like £1.80 or £3.50, somewhere around about that mark, depending on which one you have. Okay, so now I've told you about the 2 millimetres of bullet connectors that you're going to need. I've told you about your heat shrink. I will be changing those colours to coincide with each other, so I won't make the same mistake again. and the prop and the band that holds it on. And I've told you about folding those up ready before you start. Okay, so now we can start. What glues am I using? Well, I'm going to use what I normally use. I'm going to use Zappo Foam Safe CA odorless. This is medium, okay, and I've got my little tube on the top there, so I can put little blobs on, you know, almost surgically, and some Zap Foam Safe Kicker. Okay, so that's what I'm using. I may use, there's a glue that the Americans use, is it tack? Foam tack. I think the Americans use it. I'll be using Yoo-Hoo Pour. If you don't know what Yoo-Hoo Pour is, I should have, he said. This is the part I've not rehearsed. Can I put my hand straight up to the Yoo-Hoo Pour? He said. I'll be very surprised if I don't. Here we go. Yoo-Hoo Pour. This is the same stuff really as foam tack. Okay, so just for you guys in the States, that's our equivalent of foam tack. So what you do with that is you put it on to two different surfaces, you leave it about half a minute or so depending, and then you put them together and they bond almost immediately, and it's pretty safe on foam. This is made in Germany, and that's what we use in the United Kingdom, should you not already know. Okay, right, so any questions so far before we begin? That's your basics, absolute basics. It's pointless making a mold and then putting all this electronics in to find out it doesn't work. You go, because you're not going to be very happy about it. You're going to be downhearted. So do that first before you do anything else. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to put some fresh heat shrink on here so all the colours are the same, and then we'll get into the build proper. Okay, see you in a minute. Right, so I don't know how to put a timestamp in this, but now this is the build. Okay, so this is the build of the Clik 25 by RC Factory, sponsored by Model Shop Leeds. Okay, now I've just had a lot of trouble getting my camera to work and the mic to work and everything, so I'm a bit let's get on with the build though. I could make this Clik 25 12 times quicker if I wasn't videoing it, to be honest. So people have told me they spent 40 hours on it. I don't know how. Anyway, there you go. This is really quite easy. So let me turn the camera down and we'll see what's going on. Okay, first things first. I've got a board here, and this board is 3 foot by 2 foot. It could be actually a little bit bigger by about 2 foot to 2'4" because of this nose here, which the instructions call a snout. There's not much written in the instructions because I think because it's a Czech Republic, and there's not that many people in the Czech Republic that actually speak fluent English, so I think that's probably why. Okay, so the first thing is, forget the carbon rod for now, is getting the wings in the right way round and the fuzz the right way round. You'll see here that there is a cutout for the servo, and the servo arm, if this is facing towards you, is on the right hand side, so you know that's the right way up. Okay, with the wings, you know you got them the right way up because they'll only fit one way into these two parts here. Okay, so this, I don't know whether this is the upside down position or not just yet, but I think it is the upside down position. The groove for the ailerons will be upwards. Okay, so you now know you got that the correct orientation. With the nose, or what they call the snout, you'll see there's a little groove just here. And there's a little groove just there. You want a groove there and a groove there. And so when you stick this on, it's in the correct position. And this red pointer is pointing towards the tail. Okay, that's all I'm saying. If you get that wrong, well, I can't help you. Okay, now the other thing we'll be checking on is whether the wings are perpendicular to the tail. I measured this, it came out at 49 centimeters, which it does. And this side here, this would equally be 49, which it is. Okay, have your tail ready, have your rudder ready, but I'm going to put them just there for now in case I do something I don't like. Now then, there's a flat strip, carbon fibre strip, and that has to be 680mm long, which I've measured on my board, which this is. Then you have to measure halfway, which is 340mm, or if you like, 34 centimeters. Now to mark that, I've got a yellow pencil. I have got a white pencil, but I put it down and I can't find it. So a yellow pencil will do. You mark the center. Okay. Then you have another strip, a flat strip, which is 0.5 by 3mm, and the next strip will be 500mm, or if you like, 50 centimeters. And I've marked that in the middle with a little bit of blue, yellow crayon. Okay, so I know where the centers are. So let's begin. First thing to do, I know that I've got to go down to at least there. So I'm going to do a little pencil mark there, like that. So I'm not putting glue where it doesn't need to be. A little pencil mark there, like that. Okay, only I can see that. And I'm using CA foam safe. And what we're going to do, we want to be putting glue on that edge, like so. Remember, you don't want to be gluing the aileron. Have your foam kicker at hand. Okay. There you go. Don't put too much on as you glue it to the board. All right. Oh, that's not worked. Okay, we'll put some more on. I would have thought that would have taken the first go. Okay. I suppose I better give that a second or two. I can edit this bit out. I wasn't quite sure how to film this, to be quite honest with you. Whether to have one or more cameras ready or not. I think that's taken. What you can do is, if you put a bit of foam kicker on there first, you'll get an immediate reaction. Okay, here we go. Put a bit more on this time. There you go. Just rub your finger down it. Kicker. And we'll just give that a few seconds. Okay. Should be long enough. Yeah, There we go, we're in. So we're now going to double check that we are square on, and I'm pretty sure that we are. 49. Yeah, it's exactly 49 centimeters. I see no reason why that shouldn't be. Yeah, exactly 49 centimeters. Okay, so we're good. So now we take the 500. Make sure that's a 500. The 500 flat carbon, so it's 0.5 by 3. Okay, goes into this slot here. Now what you may want to do is get some glass paper and just screw down the body there, just so the glue has something to cling on to. All right, let's see if that fits first before we glue anything. All right, it needs an extra couple of millimeters. There we go. Yeah, that fits in. So what we're going to do is get the CA, run the CA into it. There you go. And just to make sure, I'm going to put some CA on the flat side. Carbon fibre rod. Now you may want to keep some glass paper close to hand, because you're bound to get a lot of CA on your fingers. And the best way I know of getting it off fairly quickly is to glass paper your fingers. There you go. And remember, you haven't got very long because CA goes off quite quickly. The end of your knife, the blunt end of your knife, push that in. Okay, and then you finish that off with a bit of kicker. All right, now if you get glue on your fingers and you want to get it off, bit of glass paper. This is I think 250. I think just do that. And it comes off real easy. It doesn't hurt. That's all. Okay. I believe that burglars used to do this in the old days, and all they had to go on was fingerprints. Anyway, so now you've got your carbon fibre rod, which is 680mm, which then goes onto the leading edge. Okay, there's a centre mark here on the fuzz, and I've got my little yellow mark there from my crayon. So I'm just going to put, I've already scuffed this with the glass paper to give it a bit something to adhere to, and I'm just going to put some CA on. About 4 to 6 inches either side. Not the full length, just from the middle. Okay, and I'm going to get the middle, line that up, push that on. Where's my kicker gun? There it is. Okay, give that a few seconds. Now I would actually advise, let's get it stuck to the board. Don't want that. Don't want that at all. Okay, that's better. Okay. Now to do the rest, get your kicker. Okay, go along the leading edge. Then put your CA on the rest of the leading edge of the carbon fibre. Okay. Just going to do one at a time. Put some extra on the end. Keep going up and down. Kicker on. Okay. And then just repeat it for the other side. Later on in the build, you're going to need a little bit of Vaseline. Nobody else is going to tell you this, by the way. What's the Vaseline for? When you come to put the wheels on, okay, the last thing you want is super glue getting on your axle. So what you do, put a little bit of Vaseline on the axle, and it means that you don't glue your wheels to the axle stub, and you've got stiff wheels. Right, I'm now going to edit it there for a second or two, glue this one in, and get the next parts ready to show you. Right, now, on both sides you need to find this shape. The thicker end goes towards the fuzz, and that goes on in this position here. Now you'll see a little slot there. That needs to line up with that slot. Okay, so you glue that on. So I've already glued the other one on just to save a whole lot of time. I can see this becoming a big, long, boring video if I keep spending all this time doing it in real time. A little bit of kicker on there. Okay, line it up and then just push it on. Okay, and all will be well. Okay, now we need to get the what they call the snout. And as I said earlier, there's a little notch there. There's a little notch there. So when you put that on, square it up. There's a notch here and a notch here. Okay, and this red pointing this way. We'll glue that on. We'll just slide that up like so. Okay. A bit more kicker on. All right. Then we grab the tail. and a carbon fibre strip, the flat stuff. Okay, this is 0.2 by 3mm by 300, and that goes in a little slot here. Okay, push it in. We'll just do a push fit to see if it fits all right. All we have to do is run the knife down it. Actually, I shouldn't do it on top of there, should I? Okay. Let's see if we can get that in this time. That seems a lot better. Yep, that's gone in. That's gone in okay. I'll put another bead in. Like so. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to pause it again to prepare for the next part. Right, I've used the Yoo-hoo pour, and the reason is that you want to give yourself time to get this absolutely vertical and square on. I think if you're using CA, you're going to struggle to do that. You can add CA into it once it's gone off and you know it's absolutely true, which it should be, using my my little metal blocks there. So I'm going to give that 10 minutes to go off, and yeah, that's where we are so far, and I'll come straight back. Right, I think that'll do for this part of the build. It seems to be dragging on a little bit because I'm trying to do it in like real time rather than doing it, you know, sort of doing it quickly. So what I'll do, I'll chop it there because it's just on half an hour. I'll put the next part on probably within a day or two, and we'll just crack on. And thanks for watching. Okay, see if you can find your name in the credits. Thanks a lot. Bye.